Okay, so let's start with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Agyanitrimandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Undilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatvutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let's chant this mantra to Krishna. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum lamgayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Okay, so let's start the class. So last time we were doing the class and we knew about how Ram went to exile and he reached the forest Chitrakoot, and then he was staying in Chitrakoot with Lakshman and Sita Devi. So now we'll continue from there. Yes. So he was staying there, and Lakshman was serving Ram and Sita both, and then Sita Devi was cooking, and they were staying in the forest. Then they stayed for a few months, and then they wanted to move from there. So then they left the Chitrakoot forest, and then they traveled, and then they reached the hermitage of Saint Atri. So Atri, he had wife. Atri's wife was Anusuya. So both of them, they welcomed Sita, Ram, and Lakshman, and then they welcomed them, and then they made them comfortable, and then stayed there for a few days, and then Sita Devi, she learned so much from Anusuya. How to be a good wife, how to serve. So she learned how to cook. So many things she learned from Anusuya because she was a motherly. So, and Sita Devi was very, very young. So she didn't know how to manage the household duties. So then she asked Anusuya. So under the guidance of Anusuya, she learned so many things. So because she was living in a palace and she didn't know how to live in a forest, she was a queen. So then Anusuya, like a daughter, she taught her so many things. And then after taking leave from Atri Muni and Anusuya, Atri Muni said, oh, you are omnipresent. So, how can you leave? You are present everywhere. So then Ram said, no, I have to leave. So then he left the hermitage. But the lot of saints, they accompanied Ram, Lakshman, and Sita along with them because they got so attached to Ram and Lakshman. So they also followed Ram, Lakshman, and Sita Devi. So then when they were crossing some forest, they saw some fossils like skeletons. So then Ram asked, what are these? Those the saints, they said, oh, there are local demons who stay here. So, they have killed so many Rishi and Munis. So these are the fossils of those munis. And then they asked Ram if he could give them protection from these cruel demons. And then when they went a little further, they came across a very fierce demon, and the demon's name was Virat. And then Ram fought with him, and then Ram killed him. And then they again traveled further, and then they reached the hermitage of Saint Agastya Muni. And then Agastya Muni, they took his blessings, and took his blessings, and then they asked him, can we, is there a place close by where we can stay peacefully? And then Agastya Muni first said, I'm so grateful that you have come here. So, and then he told them that 4 miles away, there is a place called Panchavati, and which is very, very beautiful and very safe, where you can go and live there peacefully, and you will be very safe there. So Ram, along with Sita and Lakshman, he traveled for 4 kilometers, and then he reached Panchavati. And now once they reached Panchavati, so on the way, when they were going, they met a vulture, and the name of the vulture was Jatayu. And then Jatayu is the king of vultures. So Jatayu, then he came, he paid his obeisances to Lord Ram, and then he introduced himself. He said, oh, Lord Ram, I am a friend of your father, King Dashrath Maharaj. And then he said, Lord Ram, can I accompany you? When they were going on the way to Panchavati. So, and then he said, I can, help you also. And Ram agreed. He said, okay, fine, you can come along. So Jatayu also accompanied Ram, Lakshman, Sita to Panchavati. So then after reaching Panchavati, then Lakshman, he looked for a place where he can build a hut kind of a thing so that they can stay there. So then he looked for a suitable place, and then he built, you can see in this picture, Ram, Lakshman, and all the, people, Jatayu is also there. They are all building a hut where Lord Ram and Sita could stay. So, so he built a hut. And then it was on the banks of Godavari River. So then when the hut was built, Ram and Lakshman, so then Ram told Lakshman, okay, let's go and take bath in the river Godavari, and then bring some flowers so we can worship the Shilas. They had some Shilas along, so we can worship God inside the house. So then the house will be purified. So then Ram and Lakshman, they went to the bank of Godavari, they had their bath, and then they came back, they worshipped God, and then the hut was so spacious, comfortable, so that Ram and Sita could live there comfortably, and then Sita Maya could also cook. So what Lakshman could do, he would go to the forest, cut some woods. They didn't have any gas stove. So he would cut some wood from the trees, and then he would get it to Sita Maya, and then she would cook on those wood. In olden days, there was no gas or anything. They would cook on the wood, or they would cook on the patty made of cow dung. So then Sita Maya would cook, and Lakshman would get the wood. And then they stayed in Panchavati for quite some time. They were very happy there. And then, but what happened is, one day, Swarupnakha, you can see her, she is peeping behind a tree. So Swarupnakha, she was traveling, she was flying, she was a demoness, and she was the sister of Ravan. And Ravan was the king of Lanka. So then she was flying, and she was very cruel, crooked. So then she was passing by this Panchavati forest and then she happened to see Ram and Lakshman, because Ram and Lakshman and Sita were staying there. So they were just outside their hut. She saw them, and she said, oh, they are so handsome. I wish I could marry them, and then I will be happy all my life. So thinking that, she just came near the hut, and then she stood behind a tree. And then she turned herself, because she was a demon. and she was ugly, cruel. So she turned into a very charming, beautiful looking lady. And then she stood behind the tree, and then she looked for an opportunity where she could come and go and see them. And then she walked towards Lord Ram, and then she asked him, "Oh, young man, who are you? And why have you come here on this land? This is the land of the demons." And then Ram said, "Oh, I am the son of King Dashrath, who was the ruler of Ayodhya, and I have been exiled for 14 years in the forest, and I was just passing through this place in the forest, and I felt like staying here. So who are you, lady?" And then Sarupnaka said, "Oh, I am Sarupnaka, and I am the sister of Ravan, who is the powerful ruler of Lanka. And then this area is under the jurisdiction of two of her cousins, and their name was Khara and Dushan. And they are very, very powerful warriors." And then she said, "I want to marry you, and you are a very suitable match for me." But then Ram said, oh, I am already married, sorry. And this is my wife, lovely wife, Sita. And, but, you know, there is a nice match for you. And he pointed out to Lakshman. And he said, look, he's a suitable match for you. You can approach him. And then Sarupnaka, she went to Lakshman and she said, "Oh, I have been looking for a match and I think you are a good, handsome man and charming. So I think we'll be a good match. I'm also very beautiful and you're handsome. So I think we'll be a good couple. So I want to marry you." So, but what did Ram say? He said, "Oh, you are a princess, but you know, I'm just a servant of Ram. And I don't think so it will be proper for a princess to marry a servant." And then when indirectly he was saying no. So when Sarupnaka heard this, she got very angry and she got into a rage. And then she turned into her original form of demoness. And then she returned to Ram and she said, "You're not ready to marry me. Why? Because of your wife. I am going to kill her. And then, you know, you can marry me. Because of your beautiful wife, you're not married. I'm going to." And then she, you know, raged. And then she rushed toward Sita Maya to look in the next picture. So then she rushed there and then she wanted to kill Sita Maya. But then what happened is Sita Maya, she saw that she was pouncing on her, and seeing that fearful demon, she just cried and she said, in fear, she said, "Lakshman, please save me from her. Lakshman, please save me from her." And hearing Sita's voice, Lakshman, he just ran towards Sarupnaka with a, you know, sword in his hand. And what did he do? You guys know it. What did he do? He just chopped off Sarupnaka's nose. And then when the nose was chopped off, what happened is she cried because it was very painful. Look, you can see her nose is bleeding. And then she rushed to her cousin's palace, you know, to her cousin's brothers were Khara and Dushan. And then she went there, you know, "You are so powerful, you are so strong, but look at my condition. These two people who are here in this Panchvati forest, this is what they have done to me." And then when Khara and Dushan, they heard about this, they just marched towards Panchvati with a large army to fight. And then Ram could feel that, you know, they are coming to fight. So Ram instructed Lakshman. He said, "Oh, Lakshman, dear brother, just take Sita to a safe place and I will take care of these demons." So Lakshman, you know, what did he do? He said, Sita Maya, let's go. And then he went, there was a cave nearby. And then he took Sita Maya inside the cave so that she could be safe there. And then in the meantime, a messenger from the cousin brother of Sarupnaka, Khara, came to Lord Ram and told him, that my master Khara has sent a message saying that you just leave this place of Panchavati, just leave this place and go from here. And then Lord Ram said that, we are warriors, we are Kshatriyas, and then we don't take these instructions. We roam in the forest and then we face the warriors. We fight, we don't just turn away. So, and then we are not like coward, we don't go back. So what happened is the messenger from Khara, he went back to Khara and then he conveyed the message what Ram said. And then Dushan and Khara, they got so angry. They just rushed to attack Ram with 1,400 more strong force of demons. And then they just came and they were rushing to attack Lord Ram. But, there was one demon by the name of Akampan who fled for his life. And then he fled, and then these were the demons who were coming to fight except one. And then Ram, what did he do? He killed Khara and Dushan. But this demon, Akampan, what did he do? He fled to Lanka, to Ravan, to tell him that what is happening here. So Ram killed Khara and Dushan. But this Akampan, he went to Ravan. And then, look, they fought. And then Ram saw Akampan, he was flying, but he did not kill him because he had pity on him. He thought, he's scared, so why should I kill him? He's not fighting with me. That's how Kshatriyas are. So then this Akampan, he went to Ravan, and then he conveyed what had happened, that, this is what happened with Sarupnakha, and because Sarupnakha was the sister of Ravan. So then, Ravan got very angry. He said, this is what it has happened. So he said, okay, let me see what I can do. So Ravan, he said, okay, he has killed my 2 cousin brothers, so I'm going to kill him. And then, but Akampan said, no, they are not like ordinary people. They are very, very strong Kshatriyas. And I don't think so you can do that. But he did not listen to Akampan. He said, I shall march to Marich. Marich was another sage. So, he went to Marich. Look, Ravan is talking to Marich. And then he told Marich, he said, this is what is happening in Panchavati. So what should I do? And Marich, Marich, he knew who Lord Ram was. And how did Ravan travel to Marich? He traveled in a chariot which flew. And the name of the chariot, in those chariots which fly, is called Pushpavan. Pushpak. So the name of the chariot was Pushpak. So he flew, and then he said, Marich received not Lord Ram. He received Ravana, and he said, how can I help you? And then he said that this is what has happened. So I need your help. So he's killing all my brothers. He has killed Kusha and Tusan, and then, he has chopped up the nose of Sarupnaka. So then Marich suggested, no, Ravan, I don't think so. You should do that. You should go back and let them go back and rule in peace and stay in your comforts, and let Ram be there. So, but Marich said, no, I cannot do that. And he said, because it is good for you if you don't have a fight with Ram. So, and then Ravana said, okay, whatever you suggest. So he went back to Lanka. So what happened is, when he went back to Lanka, as soon as he reached his palace, what happened is Sarupnaka, she just marched in. And then she said, look, brother, what what am I going through? And then she narrated the whole story that, this is what I was passing through Panchavati, and then there were two handsome men, and I approached them, and there's a beautiful lady, Ram's wife Sita, she's very, very beautiful, and then that's why Ram and Lakshman, they didn't marry me, because she's wife of Ram, and Lakshman said that he is a servant of Lord Ram, and he didn't, both of them, they refused. And then, when I was trying to kill Sita, Lakshman chopped off my nose. So after hearing all this, Ravan got angry. He was very, very angry. He got into a rage. And then he said, okay, fine. He went back to Marich again. And then Marich, he knew now Ravana is very, very angry, and he's not going to listen. But he still said that, Ravana, you should not do this. You should not, kidnap one's wife, because Ravana said that I want to kidnap Sita, and then Ram and Lakshman, they will be very sad and they will die. So I want to take this revenge. And then, but Mari said, no, you should not do this. But Ravana is Ravana. He was angry. So he said, okay, fine. If you want to do that, okay, fine. What do I do? He said, and then Mari thought, my death is for sure, because Ravan is going to fight with Ram, and I know Ram is God himself. So I am going to die. He said, it's better to die in the hands of Ram. So then he said, okay, what do you want me to do? So then Ravana said, okay, you change into a beautiful deer, and then you roam around Ram's hut in Panchavati. You remember Lakshman had built a hut. So you roam around that, and then, Sita will get attracted to you, and then you run, and then Ram and Lakshman will follow you, and then I will kidnap Sita. So what happened? He said, okay, whatever you say. So so Mirichi's task was that he will turn into a deer. So he said, okay, whatever you suggest. So then he turned into a very beautiful deer. Look, Ravan, he's here. And then the hut is there. You can see Ram and Sita, and you can see the Marich also. And then what happened is, when Marich turned into a beautiful deer, Sita, she saw, and she said, oh, Lord Ram, look, that's a beautiful deer. How beautiful it is. So then Ram also looked at the deer, and he said, oh yeah, really, the deer is so beautiful. He is very unique. So then Sita said, can you get the deer for me, please? So then Lord Ram said, okay, fine. And then he took his bow, and then he wanted to get that. So he ran behind the deer, because the deer was Marichi. He started running. His purpose was to divert Ram from Sita. So then, the deer started running, and Ram was running behind, but he was a demon. Marichi was, running very fast. And then when Ram was leaving, so he told Lakshman that, Lakshman, please take care of Sita. And Lakshman, what did he do? He warned Lord Ram. He said, Lord Ram, I don't think this is a real deer. I think this is some demon who has turned himself into a deer. And I don't think so. You should go behind him. But Ram said, no, I don't think so. So you just stay with your sister-in-law, Sita, and take care of her. And then, so, Lakshman said, okay, brother, whatever you say. So the Ram went behind the deer, and Lakshman stayed behind with Sita Devi to take care of her. And then what happened is that Ravan was, he was hiding behind a tree and observing everything. So then what happened is that Ram, he shot an arrow at the deer. And then what happened is the deer, you know, it was a demon, Marich. So then the deer turned into Marich. And then Ram realized that Lakshman was right. And then, you know, I didn't listen, and this is some trap. And then as soon as the deer turned into a demon, and then he cried out loud, Sita, Lakshman. And then Sita and Lakshman, they were in Panchvati, and they heard this voice. And Sita Devi said, wow, oh my God, Lakshman, Ram is in danger. We are hearing, he's calling us. So she tells Lakshman, please go and help your brother, Ram, he's in danger. And then Lakshman, he says, no, you know, Ram can never be in danger. This is some trap. So, you know, Mother Sita, please don't tell me to go anywhere. This is all a plan, and I don't think so this is true. But, you know, Sita, she was very, very uneasy. And then she said that your brother is in trouble, and then you're not going. You please go. I tell you to please leave. Now, Lakshman was in a fix because, you know, his brother had given the instruction, Lord Ram, that you have to take care of her. But here, Sita is telling him to go and take care of Ram. So what did he do? He said, okay, whatever you do, whatever you instruct me to do, Sita Maya. So what did he do is he drew a line around the hut, and he told Sita Maya, please don't cross this line, and that line is called Lakshman Rekha. So you can see that he's drawing the line is there. You can see that. And then he tells Sita that you don't leave the hut and don't cross this circle around the hut. You know, you don't cross it. And I'll be back soon. And then he goes to the forest looking for Lord Ram. Now Sita is sitting alone, you know, in the hut. And then what did Ravan do? He turned himself into a saint. You know, like a saint, you know, you go and beg. And then he went near the hut. And then what happened is, then Sita Maya, you know, suddenly she sees the saint. And then he goes near the circle. And then as soon as he touches the circle, there is a fire which breaks up, because Lakshman had drawn that Lakshman Rekha, and it was done with some mantras. So it was a powerful thing. So then he could not cross that Lakshman Rekha, which Lakshman had drew. So then, you know, he said, oh, what do I do now? I cannot cross. I cannot get hold of Sita. So then he had a plan. Then he asked for bhiksha. He was begging. He said, oh, lady, can you give me some bhiksha? Now, Sita Devi was in a fix. How can I cross this circle? Lakshman has told me not to cross. And then she said, oh, what do I do? So she went inside the hut and she got some little grains to give to the saint, who was not a saint, but Ravan, the demon. So then she came, and then she was trying to give, but then Ravana was saying that, you know, you have to cross the line, because I cannot cross it. So you have to come to me to give me the alms. So then Sita Devi, you know, she got very emotional. She said, oh, you know, the saint is so humble, you know, I have to give him bhiksha, he's begging. So she said, oh, what do I do? Then she crossed the line. And as soon as she crossed the line, Ravana just grabbed Sita Devi. And then as soon as he grabbed her, Sita said, who are you and how dare you touch me? And then Ravana said, oh, I am Ravan and I am the king of Lanka. And then he changed into his original form of Ravana. And there was a chariot, Pushpak chariot, right? So it was waiting a little further down. And then he grabbed and he lifted Sita Maya, and then he put her on the chariot, and he drove the chariot in the sky. And then Sita Devi, she started crying in fear, and she was so scared. She said, Ram, please save me from this cruel demon. And then Ravan said, oh, I am Ravana, ruler of Lanka. How dare anybody can come and rescue you from my grips? Because he was a very powerful warrior and a demon. So then, Sita got very frightened and she started crying. So, so when she was crying, her intensity of fear and cry was so much that the stones down on earth were melting because of, the stones also were so emotional because of her cry that we cannot help Sita Maya. So then what happened is, then when they were flying, the chariot was flying in the air. You remember the Jatayu vulture? He heard the cries of Sita Maya, and then he came close to the chariot and he said, oh, my daughter, please don't worry. I will rescue you. I will kill this demon. And who was Jatayu? He was the friend of King Dashrath. So King Dashrath was the father-in-law of Sita Maya. So he said, I will help you because I am the friend of your father, King Dashrath. Don't worry, I will kill Ravan. And then Jatayu, what did he do? He just pounced on Ravana. And then he told him, you stupid demon, stop your chariot at once. And you don't know me. I am also a big warrior. I will fight and I will kill you. And then in the meantime, what was happening was Lakshman was looking for Ram. And then he actually found Ram. And then he said, when Ram looked at Lakshman, he said, oh, hey, Lakshman, how come you are here? I told you to be with Sita. He said, brother, but we heard your cry for help. So that's why Sita Maya sent me here to help you. She said that your brother is in trouble. So why did you go and help? So I told her, I convinced her, but she was very adamant that I come and look for you and I help you because you are in trouble. So that's why I had to come. But I have drawn Lakshman Rekha and I told her not to cross that. And he mentioned everything, and that's how we are here. But then Ram told Lakshman, brother, but you are right. When he told me that deer was not a real deer and it was a marich. And when I shot an arrow at him, he turned into his original form. And then I killed him and he cried out. So this was all the plan. So then they said, oh, so they said, now we have to rush back and look for Sita. I don't know what the trap is. So then Ram and Lakshman, they rushed back to Panchvati where the hut was. And then when they are very worried on the way, looking everywhere. And then when they reach the hut, they don't find Sita Devi there. So then Lakshman says, maybe she has gone to get some water. Maybe she has gone to pluck some flowers. But then Ram was very, very unhappy. But he was just consoling, Lakshman was consoling Ram that, don't be worried, don't lose hope. Maybe she's just around here. Then they were just looking for her, going a little further down. Then they see, then they look. This is the picture where, Lord Ram is hitting the golden deer and the deer is turning into the demon Marich. And then here, when Ram and Lakshman, they are looking for Sita, they come across Jatayu. So you remember Jatayu was fighting with Ravana, and Ravana was driving the chariot with Sita in it. And then what did he do, Ravana? He just chopped off the wings of Jatayu. So when Ram and Lakshman, then when they meet Jatayu, so then Jatayu, Lakshman, because Ram knows who is Jatayu, he had met him. So then Ram introduces Jatayu to Lakshman. He said, Lakshman, he is Jatayu and he is our father's friend. So both of them, then they sit next to Jatayu. And then Jatayu tells Ram that, I have seen Ravana. He was forcibly taking Sita. And then when I saw that, I pounced on Ravana, and, he was very, very fearful that I will kill him. But, what did I do? I just, I pricked his body with my sharp, strong beaks. And then, he was in pain. And I wanted to rescue Sita. But what did he do? Ravan, he just attacked me, and he cut off my wings with his sword. And then I just fell down here. So they saw all the blood and all his wings, cut down. And then he said, then Ram asked him, Jatayu, do you know Ravana, where did he take Sita Maya? So do you know? He said, no, I don't know. So then he said, I don't know. Then Jatayu said, but what happened is that seeing me helpless, when he cut off my wings, Sita Maya had come down from the chariot. So Ravana, he just picked up Sita again, put her on the chariot again, and then he was going. So Sita, what did he do? She started throwing her ornaments like bangles and necklaces down on the ground. Why? Because then anybody looking for Sita, if they find the ornaments, then they know the path where Ravana took Sita Devi. So then Ram asked, who is this Ravan after all? So then Jatayu said that, Ravana is the king, and then he is the son of Ravana's father was Vishrava. So he said he's the son of Vishrava, and he is the king and ruler of Lanka. And then saying that, he passed out in Ram's lap, Jatayu. After saying this, he just died. So then what did Ram and Lakshman do? They just, chanted some mantras, and they said, you are such a great warrior, and you have, you are like our father, because you are the friend of our father. And then both of them, they performed his last rites of Jatayu. And then what happened is, then Ram and Lakshman, they started going to look for Sita. So then they crossed a forest. The name of the forest was Crunch. And then there was one demon. And the name of the demon was Kabandha. And then he was fighting with Ram. And then Ram and Lakshman, they fought. And you can see the demon. And then, Ram, he just took out his sword, and then they both attacked and killed the demon. And the name of the demon was Kabandha. But amazingly, what happened is, when they killed him, so one personality emerged from, you can see the demon on the left side, and then there is a personality who is coming out from the fire. So then he said, oh, I am Kabandha, and I had got changed into a demon, dreadful demon, because of a curse. And then now you have gotten rid of that curse from me, and now I will do something for you. So he said, and I will help you to find where Sita is. So, and then he tells, because he was also a saintly person. So he said that you have to look for Sugriv, the ruler of Banaras, and he will help you in finding out and rescuing Sita. And then after saying that, this Kabandha demon, he just flew away. He just disappeared. And then what happened is, Ram and Lakshman, then they started going. And then when they went, they came along a hut again, and there was an old lady staying there. And then she was staying along the lake Pampa. And the name of the lady was Shabri. And then when she saw them, she knew who they were. And she said, oh my God, my whole long desire is going to get fulfilled. Ram is coming. And then I have been staying alive to cherish this moment for them. So, you know, how do I serve them? How do I serve them? So what did she do? She went outside in the forest and then she looked for some berries. You know, we call them bear. And then she said, oh, but how can I feed them? But I have to see, you know, they should be sweet. So what did she do? She got some berries and then she tasted them. She took a bite to see if it was sweet, and then she would keep it in a basket. And if it was sour, then she would just throw it. So when Ram and Lakshman came near the hut, she invited them. And then she fed them those berries. So what happened is Ram, he ate those berries. But Lakshman, he said, oh my God, she has already tasted it. He didn't eat those berries. And Ram said, oh, these are the sweetest berries on earth that I have tasted. And then what happened is he really enjoyed it because he knew that who Shabri was. And then after, what happened is after Ram tasted and finished all the berries and Lakshman, he didn't taste anything, Shabri also passed away. So today, in this picture, you can see Ravana, he is taking Sita Maya. And look, this picture, he is chopping up Garuda. So this is the part of Sita Haran. So this part was Sita Haran. Okay. Haribo. So you can put your videos on. Vedanshi, are you there? Krishna Charan, are you there? Hare Krishna, Vedanshi.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So can I ask you some questions? Are you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. So Krishna Charan, are you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Okay, what was the name of the bird which Ravana killed? Do you remember the name of the bird? He was a huge bird. He chopped off his wings. What was the name? Krishna Charan, do you know?
Jatayu.
Very nice. Jatayu. Very good. Okay. So now the next question is for Vedanshi. Okay. So
Okay.
do you remember the name of the wife of Atri Muni? She was like a mother and she was teaching Sita Devi how to cook.
No.
Okay, I can help you. Her name was Anusuya. Anusuya. Okay. Okay. So what do you remember the name of the forest where they built a hut?
No.
It was. Do you know Krishna Charan? No. Okay. It's Panchavati. Okay. Okay. So okay. What was the name of Ravan's sister? This you should know. You should know. Both of you should know. What was the name of Ravana's sister?
Shurpanakha.
Very good, Vedanshi. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. And then, now what was the name of the demon who turned into a deer? Krishna Charan. Who turned into a golden deer?
Marichi.
Marichi. Very good. Very nice, Krishna Charan. Okay. And then Okay, and then the demon who told Ram to approach somebody who can help him find Sita, and he was from, so you know who starts with S?
Sita.
Sugriv. Sugriv. Very good. Both of you, very good. Very good. Okay, so now we'll chant the Mahamantra 3 times and end the class. So can you both chant with me? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so Vedanshi, Krishna Charan and Vedanshi, both of you are doing Damodar Ashtakam, which I told you last time. Do you offer lamb to Krishna?
Yes.
Not yet.
What lamb? He wants to do it now because so he wants to do it.
Okay. So Vedanshi, do you know about this Damodar Ashtakam? You want me to send you the picture and the prayer which we chant, Vedanshi? And then you light a lamp and offer it to Krishna?
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you so much. This is a very auspicious month. So if you can do it till 20th, so you'll...
Yes.
That one.
What should I do for that?
You just have to put lamp, and then the teacher sent a little sloka. We have to recite that. You have to play that. Remember she played in last year?
Yes.
Mataji, I have sent the link also. So if you can help her do it.
Okay, I will do it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So
Thank
we
you.
end the class here. Thank you both of you for attending it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. See you next week.
Hare Krishna.
See you next week. Haribo.
Haribo.
Haribo.